And I'll just jump into this slide here and just kick it off with I am not surprised that 101 to 250 employees is the lowest because that's where the most chaos and anarchy tends to hit. That's the hockey stick. Those were the organizations I was addicted to working in because maybe my childhood was a little chaotic. I love a good, get my fight or flight going, but it's exciting. There's budget one day and then the company's in the red the next. So those are the more like, it's a little loosey goosey. They don't have a ton of structure yet. The managers are probably definitely not trained properly. It would be rare if they were, but the rest of this, I mean, all of it tracks is how I was going to kick off this conversation. This data makes sense.
When I think about small companies, they run on intimacy, right? I was with a
Mhm.
small company CEO and he writes a card to everyone on their birthday, their wife, and if the kid graduates, right? If you think about big ones, you've got the structure and there's comfort in the structure, even if it's that bureaucracy. But those mid-sized companies, they're living in this, what I like to call a danger zone almost, right? Where culture and systems collide. And so if you're not attuning to both, right, and giving them equal attention, that's when we see some of the outcomes where people are not excited to go to work on Mondays, right? Like you were saying, Joey.
I would just say that the busiest HR pros are probably the ones who operate in the middle, right? Because the relationships that they have to have with the managers of peeling the onion back and determining, well, what's contributing to our ENPS score from a positive and a negative, that's so volatile at that stage, at under 50 employees and even trending up across to 100. That growth is fueled by ambition, generally speaking. So you either have the stable mom and pop furniture store with 3 offices, 50 employees, or you've got that, next big startup who is celebrating employee 51 and their first office in Paris, right? So there is a lot to be said for the ambition that comes with the growth in that startup phase. But once you hit that resistance layer of the midsize, then you've got to start looking into things like, the compensation, the time off policies, the quality of management, the level of communication that is from top to mid to employee. There's so much to unpack.